Good morning. As it's mentioned in the bulletin, we're going to be sharing what the mission team did the week. We worked here in our community. All of those who are sharing, if you would come on up and stand behind me. And as they're doing that, I would like for those who participated that week to please stand. Part of the mission team, the people who provided our lunches. Becky Bibler was our photographer that week. Tim Watson guided us through our very first day. It took more than what you see standing here to get that week accomplished, and I want to thank all of you for that. So now Ty Whitcamper is going to chair what we did.
Good morning. I'm going to talk to you about what we did on Monday, the first day of Local Missions Week. We spent it here at the church, cleaning storage rooms and purging old equipment, boxes, scenery, electronics, and other assorted trash, taking it to the dumpster, the recycling center, and in some cases, my car. I'm happy to report that the church building weighs less today than it did on Monday morning. The crew got busy working right away, emptying and sorting a myriad of backdrops, scenery, paint, fabric, and other things stored in the furnace room above the Family Life Center. We were like archaeologists discovering VBS scenery from ages past. Each piece was carefully reviewed. Could it be used again? Could it be repurposed? Could a doorway be a cave entrance in another life? Could palm trees be made into stalactites? If so, we notified Jill and Crystal. If not, it was sent over the railing into the Family Life Center floor, and from there it was off to the dumpster. Meanwhile, on the third floor, old electronics were being sorted and thrown out. There were empty boxes, televisions, speakers, printers by the dozen, and other equipment too outdated to use or sell and dumpster bound. What was left now is organized for future use. There's now a place for everything and everything in its place. Valentine's banquet items are separate from Christmas, which is separate from current electronics. The crew worked like an ant colony. Some drugged things from the furnace storage room. Others took things down the stairs from the third floor storage. Still others worked in the Family Life Center, collapsing boxes and taking large items apart so it would all fit in the dumpster. The kitchen crew was busy preparing the meal, and then there was the chore of filling the dumpster for it all to be taken away. All in all, it was a wonderful day with everyone working together for a common cause. God's house was spruced up a bit, and I think we did a good deed for the kingdom. Thank you.
I'm not very good with the microphone because I like to talk with my hands, so I'll do the best I can. I'm going to talk about Tuesday. Tuesday we did ERF, which I know a lot of you are very familiar with the ERF, but for those of you who are not, I'm just going to give you a little history. That is our local food pantry. It is located at 309 West Washington Street here in Alexandria, which is in the basement of the Lutheran Church. It's open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 11, and this, of course, gives donated food to people in need. And I think sometimes we fail because we're very blessed. How big hunger is a reality for 74,000 people right here in what we call East Central Indiana, Alexandria being a big part of that. There's a lot of need in Alexandria. And this has been particularly true since the recession of 2008. It affects everybody. There's usually at least about 12 volunteers per week. They put in about 30 to 35 hours. And many of the people in our congregation have been volunteers or are currently volunteers. So we need to be feel very blessed. They've tried to do what Pastor Michael says every Sunday, go out and make a difference. They do appreciate donations, so all of you who do gardening, if you want to donate food, you can do that. I think I learned a lot. I've always donated, but I never really went up there. So they really do a great service. They get food from Second Harvest Warehouse, and so even though we have a box out front, they can buy almost 3 times as much with $1 that we can if we go to the store and buy something. So donation for money is very invaluable because they can get food from Second Harvest, which is delivered all the time. So to me, you get more bang for your buck if you give the money rather than try to donate the food. We cleaned shelves. We were down in the basement. We cleaned shelves. We tried to clean it up. It hadn't been dusted for a long time. We cleaned out freezers, cleaned floors, anything that they needed for us to do. So then at Heaven's Warehouse later that same morning, which is the ministry that gives free clothing and household goods away. And if you don't know where that's located in the annex of our old church at First Baptist. They're on Church Street. They're open on Monday evenings from 4 to 7 and Tuesdays from 9 to 12. And the people are allowed to go in there and shop for free. It looks like a thrift shop, but everything in there is for free. You're allowed to go in there twice a month and shop. So you get a basket, like a laundry basket, and you're allowed to fill it full of clothes. And the quality of clothes, I think we were all really surprised. They really make sure that they get great donations. They don't give ripped, torn, stained, anything away. They're very, very careful about that. And if they do have things stained, particularly bed sheets, if they're just slightly stained, they send them to a church in New Haven and have them made into quilts. Then the quilts come back to Heaven's Warehouse, and then they're given out also to the people who come there. So they try not to have any waste at all. With winter coming on, I know they can use coats, hats, gloves, and they can always use bedclothes. Apparently they don't give enough sheets or blankets, so that's something that we as individuals could certainly make a difference for them. Later in the day, we kind of had we had lunch, fabulous lunch every day from the ladies who cooked. We went to the firehouse, which the firehouse to me was a fun afternoon. It was pouring down rain, and we were supposed to wash a fire truck, and so we all thought, how's that going to work out? But we washed it inside instead. The first thing that started it off on a really good note with the firemen is the lunch had been prepared for them by Heiser, which they thoroughly enjoyed, and let us know that they not only enjoyed the food, but it saved them money, because each fireman, which I did not know this, has to pay $10 a day for their food. It's not provided by the city at all. And so that way they'll have now money for pizza sometime another time. We rolled hoses, first for many of us. We learned a lot about the fire department, got a tour. We washed the ambulance, or not the ambulance, the great big fire truck, and I think the kids really, really enjoyed that also. I think I was very impressed by the dedication of our firemen in Alec. They're very committed to the city of Alexandria. So I think it was a blessing for all of us on the mission team. All these agencies, to me, particularly ERF and Heaven's Warehouse, to me offer hope to people who are having a lot of problems. They're truly doing God's work, I think, and I feel like that we could do more and go out and be a blessing to everybody. We did receive a nice thank you from Heaven's Warehouse, and it said, thank you for coming and helping. You all did a wonderful job. Your thoughtfulness is appreciated. Please come back and help us. We always appreciate your help. So again, my challenge is what Pastor Michael says every Sunday: go out and make a difference.
I had the privilege of being there all week, but I'm going to talk about Wednesday. We were at the community center. It started out to be a pretty dreary day. It was really dark, and I thought for sure that we were going to get stormed out. I mean, it was pouring down at breakfast time, and most of our work was going to be outside. So I at first was a little nervous, but as you can see in the pictures, God delivered. He opened the clouds, and out came the sun, and it was a beautiful day. So we got to do a lot of outside work. I did a lot of weeding with Miss Shalia, and so I learned a lot about that. And it was great because everybody put in their effort, and I mean, that place just turned around. We pulled weeds, we trimmed bushes, Bob was awesome, brought the weed killer, came out, and then they painted our the play set out there. And as a person who lived in Anderson my whole life, I know it's right next door, but I had no idea what Alec had to offer. I knew it was a small town, but this was a really big experience for me because I had no idea the kind of things that we have. And so it's just neat. I had some skeptical people say to me, what difference are we going to make here in our own little town? Well, we made a big difference. And they just were so thankful that we came out and did something that they can't really do. They don't have time to do that, probably not the funds to pay for that. So we just made a huge difference by doing some simple yard work, and it took all day. They have so many different programs. When I was there, I saw that there were kids, and they were doing different things. They even have like a canvas thing that you can do on Thursdays for $20. And so if you've ever seen the cookies and canvas or whatever advertised in Indianapolis, they have one right here in our community. So there are some really neat things to do there. I had the privilege also to do devotions, and so I every day got to do a devotion, and one of the scriptures that I found just really stuck out to me, and it was kind of my theme as throughout the week, and it's from Mark 10:45. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life for a ransom for many. So it was just one of those things that I had to remember, that the God that I serve is amazing, because he didn't come down and say, bow down and worship me. He said, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to serve you. So that's an amazing God that we serve. And it was a wonderful experience. As a person who was able to serve all week, my favorite part was that I got to work with people I didn't know really before. It gives us a time that people here in our own community can feel free to go out for free and help where they can. And it was good because you could come and go as you please. And it was just amazing. I got to work with all different ages and just get to know people and their stories. So it was a wonderful time, and I greatly encourage that we do this again, we do it often, and that more people get involved. Oh, also, before I finish, Alexandria Community Center also gave us a thank you card. Dear members of the Alec Mission Team, I wanted to thank you for your hard work at the center last week. Our grounds look great, and I could never have gotten this done without your help. In my opinion, you all earned your angel wings that day. So that was wonderful. Thank you.
Hello, I am Emily Nichols, and this is Lily Thomas, and we're going to talk about what we did at the recycling center in a form of a poem. So you're welcome. Working at the recycling center was fun, and with the help of others, we got it all done. While we were working, I think we got a tan, and when we were finished, we looked like the Tin Man.
We were happy to help and even more to get clean. We're not trying to be rude, especially not mean. We painted the fences, but that's not all, because others worked hard painting the walls. In the end, we were proud of ourselves for working so hard, and all of the supplies we used took someone's credit card. Thank you to all who have donated money, and we hope that this poem was a little funny.
How do you follow that, right? My goodness, they did a great job. The week was just an absolute blessing to be able to offer labor and love. For all that we do in the name of love. The Bible teaches us all different kinds of methods, forms, and service that we can reach out and love. And it started in Leviticus 19:18, where it says to love our neighbor as ourselves, because God is who he is. Thou shalt, in Matthew 19:19, thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself. And in John 13:34, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Jesus gave us an example to love, and the whole week demonstrated every particular person's position and their desire to love their neighbor. And we made a big difference, what might seem like to some people a small commitment, but that small commitment turned into lives that were changed, whether it be the places that we served or whether it be the people who are serving. God is working in their hearts, in the community, in individuals, and it's just that little spark that's going to catch, that's going to bring renewal, revival, restoration, and healing to our land. On Friday, we got to go to a place called Beauty for Ashes. Some of you are familiar with that particular establishment and organization. And we got to go into the basement to reorganize and to take an inventory of some of those items that were there so that they could have a good count of what they actually had on store and that was able to be used. We got to go outside, and there were some people that really got down on their hands and knees and just pulled out the grass and the weeds. It really made things look very pretty in the yard. We were able to go into the garage and pull everything out of their garage and then set that back into order to where it could be organized to where they could come and get whatever they needed without climbing over something else. We pulled their lawnmower out that somebody had just donated a brand new lawnmower for them that was just smoking like crazy whenever they ran it. And so we checked the oil in that, and they happened to have that dipstick about 1.5 times over the full mark. And so if anybody knows anything about combustion engines like that, too much oil is the first thing that's going to ruin an engine. So we were able to pour out some of the oil and got it running and got it smooth so it won't smoke, and they can mow their yard now. And then we went to remove some leaves and cleaned up, and there's a house they're going to use for educational things, and we pulled some old cabinets out of that and brought back to the garage and organized it there. And just took some different time to be able to serve people who have no expectation of us giving back. That really demonstrates our love for them. Beauty for Ashes had sent us a card, and Libby Parker wrote in there, "Alexandria First Baptist Church, thank you so much for all your work. The garage looks so great. Thank you for working so hard to help organize and clean. We so appreciate your service and partnership. Thank you, Libby Parker."
All that you have heard and seen was made possible because of you, our church family. Whether you donated a supply for something to work that week, if it was a monetary donation, but most of all, your prayers. What we did that week was made possible because of you. And God bless all of you.
Thanks to everyone who served on the mission team, everyone who helped cooking, providing the money, just their time, their labor. Some people took time off of work, just time out of their day. I mean, it's not always easy to sacrifice our time, and so I appreciate that, what everyone did, and you made a difference, and that's what's so important.